What's up, Get Slammers? This is Bow and Arrow, and this is my show where I give a recap on 205 Live as well as my thoughts and opinions on the show. Now, before we start with all that, we got to go back to No Mercy, where Enzo Amore defeated Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. Now, this match has kind of been, on a hot topic lately because Enzo Amore won with a kick to the family jewels. Basically, referee didn't see it, got the 1, 2, 3. Enzo's now your Cruiserweight champion. So then, Monday night on Raw, we had basically Enzo come out, have a little celebration. But before that, he went to Kurt Angle and said, hey, I want a clause that says if anyone touches me, that they cannot have a title match for my belt or my title. And Kurt Angle's kind of caught up in things on his phone, and he's like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah, whatever you want. So basically Neville's like, all right, or Enzo's like, okay, I'm good. He goes out to the ring, and I mean, every 205 Live person came out, and Neville comes out, and he was pissed. Neville didn't care. Neville didn't care about his claws. He beat up Enzo anyway. And then actually after Raw, it wasn't caught on. Well, I mean, it was caught on camera, but after Raw was over, Braun Strowman came out once again, power slammed Enzo, and then the rest of the 205 roster joined in beating Enzo up again. So whether he's still getting backstage heat and they're all just kind of doing it, it doesn't matter. I don't think that matters anymore. I think they're just playing in to the fact that no one cares for Enzo. No one likes Enzo. He's annoying. You done? He's not done. So I was like, all right, 205 Live. This is, you know what? Normally 205 Live, I'm like, 205 Live, here we go. But I was like, hey, I'm kind of excited to see where they're going to go with this. So it was really nice. The WWE was kind of like, hey, watch 205 Live and you can see more of this, maybe. So it was nice. So now let's get to 205 Live. First of all, we had Vic Joseph, who's always been the commentator on 205 Live. And then we had Byron Saxton. I don't know if Byron Saxton, I think maybe this is just a one-time replacement. Usually Nigel McGuinness is in there, but he also does NXT, so maybe he had to fly over. He had to go from California to Florida for NXT, so Byron Saxton's probably just replacing him for this one night. Anyway, who cares about that? Before any matches started off, 205 Live started off with Enzo. He comes out, he had crutches and bandages and everything, and he says that his mother was in the front row the other night on Raw, and she just cried her eyes out. And he made sure to remind everyone that he still had that clause that no one could touch him or they wouldn't be able to compete for his Cruiserweight Championship. And he leaves. So yeah, that's what started off 205 Live. And then there was an announcement saying that Neville will face Aria Daivari in tonight's main event. And then right after that we had Akira Tozawa versus Tony Nese. Now, before they even came out, Drew Gulak came out with his no chanting sign once again. So Drew Gulak and Akira Tozawa kind of been having a feud over the past couple weeks. The match started. Tony Nese dominated the majority of the match, as I kind of expected. He just kind of looks stronger. He looks better. Not saying that Akira Tozawa isn't, but just looking at them, you can kind of, oh yeah, that guy would win in a fight. Let's see, yeah, so Tony Nese dominated the majority of the match. Akira Tozawa ended up getting the upper hand in the second part of the match and won with his Swanton bomb that he does. I thought the match was alright, nothing spectacular, nothing too special. Drew Gulak then got upset because of Akira's high flying and his chanting that he does. Drew Gulak gets on the mic and says that Akira is in violation of his proposal for a better 205 Live. He's got that PowerPoint presentation that he's been doing the past 3 weeks now, I think it is, 3 or 4 weeks. Says he's in violation of proposal number 3, which is no chance, and he's also in violation of proposal number 7, which he hasn't released yet, but he did, right after he said that. And number 7 is celebrating. Akira didn't really care. He kicks Drew Gulak. Nothing new with this feud. Pretty much the same thing as last week. It's not that I'm getting bored. It's just I want something different. I like his PowerPoint presentation. You know, it's funny. But if that's all he's gonna do, then I don't really care. I mean, it's not like I'm expecting them to be on the next, Raw pay-per-view. But throw something new in there. Throw something new. After that, Enzo was backstage. He's kind of talking to himself. He says the crowd was right when they were chanting "You deserve it," but really what they meant by that was they were chanting "You deserve it" by when he was getting the crap beat out of him, basically. Yeah, so then all of a sudden Aria Daivari says, comes to him and says, Enzo, I apologize for what happened on Raw the other night. And Enzo's like, no, I don't accept your apology. And Aria says, I felt peer pressured into helping everyone beat you up, and he said that Enzo, you really defied the odds in beating Neville the other night, and I think you're really good, and yeah, so Enzo's like, quit trying to butter me up, like you're just saying that, maybe you want to shout out the title, you're just saying that, and Aria says, Neville came up with the whole thing, and he wants to be Enzo's friend and ally, and Enzo says, where he comes from, you have to prove that you can be a good friend or a good ally. And Aria said, all right, well, why don't you come to my match tonight against Neville? And Enzo says, okay. And then the funny part of this bit was Aria goes, how you doing? And Enzo says, don't say that. Ever again. Do not say that. I'm really torn apart on if I like this or not. I kind of wanted Enzo to, do his own thing with Neville, just one-on-one. But what I really think happened the other night was, Enzo was kind of in between, kind of a face, kind of a heel. But when he won the Cruiserweight Championship and on Raw, he kind of jumped over on the heel wagon. So maybe they're trying to get him a little, kind of a lackey, if you will, with Aria Daivari. So yeah, I don't know. After that, we had TJP versus Lince Dorado. Remember last week, TJP attacked Lince Dorado backstage. Lince was supposed to have a match against Rich Swann. So he attacked Lince backstage, and then Swann went back to see if Lince was okay. Then TJP attacked Rich Swann. Rich told TJP that having more matches would only put their friendship at risk. He told that to TJP a couple weeks ago, and this time as Lince was making his way to the ring, Rich Swann runs out and gets a hold of TJP. Rich Swann starts beating him up. TJP ends up running away. Yeah, so nothing really happened. There wasn't a match between TJP or Lince Dorado or Rich Swann or anything. Man, poor Lince Dorado. The guy's just trying to have a match, trying to move up in the card, get noticed. He just can't. He keeps getting beat up. Come on, cut the guy some slack. But really, I thought this feud would be over with, but it's not. So I mean, this was still kind of something to get me interested, but again, I need something else. I mean, it can't just. I get that they used to be friends, and now they're not really friends because TJP attacked Rich. So I mean, I guess they got that going for them, but really, I mean, hopefully next week they can do something else. Hopefully they have a match and it kind of gets the feud going back up again. So if you remember 2 weeks ago, we had Gentleman Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick aligned themselves. The Brian Kendrick and Cedric Alexander had a match. Cedric won, but Jack came out afterwards and beat up Cedric. So next week on 205 Live, it will be Jack Gallagher and Cedric Alexander one-on-one. Right after that announcement, the Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher had, kind of a little promo type deal backstage, whatever you want to call it. They said that they would rather show people why they are an alliance rather than tell them. And I just have to say that this is probably Jack Gallagher's best promo work. I'm really starting to think that Jack Gallagher belongs in the WWE as a heel. He was so good. He was so convincing, and really, it was just really good. Especially that he's got the Brian Kendrick, who's been in the industry, been in the business a long time. It's going to help him out with that probably, but it was super good. So if you really want to see Jack Gallagher, maybe come out of his shell a little bit and do some really good mic work, check out the promo on 205 Live. After that, we had the main event. It was Neville versus Aria Daivari with Enzo Amore. Neville said last night, Neville came out on the mic first before the match. He said last night he knew exactly what he was doing. He was talking about Raw. He says given the opportunity, he would do it again. And he says he refuses to let 205 Live succumb to a talentless rat. Wow. After that, Enzo came out and Aria Daivari came out, and Aria Daivari was in control for most of the match, which was pretty surprising. I think Enzo kind of distracted Neville for a lot of the match, so that was kind of part of it. Eventually, Neville gets Daivari in the Rings of Saturn. It was basically over from there. Enzo attacks Neville with his crutch. Then he just begins to go off on him, punching him in the face, everything, and the refs have to come out and stop him. And this was the best part of the show, the main event, which it should be. And I think it's great. I mean, I'm excited to see next week Neville and Enzo Amore. Are they gonna have another match? Are they gonna do something? Where does Aria Daivari fit in all this? I don't know, but I'm interested to see. Maybe we'll see a little something on Raw next week. But who knows? So yeah, that was 205 Live. It was actually, I thought it was a pretty decent show. There was, maybe one or two things that I didn't really enjoy or didn't really like. Like I said, I'm excited to see Jack Gallagher and Cedric Alexander face off again. I'm excited to see where Enzo and Neville go in their feud. And I just want to say, love Enzo or hate him. In my opinion, he is one of the best superstars with a microphone in his hand right now. He's so convincing. You can tell that he's home. It's not awkward for him to get on the mic. That's where he does some of his best work. Not saying he's not that good, wrestling, which he and he understands that he's not the best wrestler, but his talking backs him up, which I really like, and he's really good at it. And also don't forget to so if you agree with that or disagree, let me know in the comments. Just let me know what you think. I always like to get your feedback. Also, don't forget to catch up on my NXT update that I did last week. We can catch you up tonight, so you can watch it tonight. Didn't miss a thing. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Get Slam Wrestling page. And don't forget to check out our weekly podcast that we do. We give you all the pro wrestling news, and the best news of all, no more Crawdaddy, right? That's the best news of all. You can check that out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, and Stitcher. Just search Get Slammed Wrestling. This has been Bow and Arrow with your 205 Live update. Thanks for watching.